Today, in this class, we are going to conclude our discussion on assignment problem. In the last class also, we had taken a problem on assignment in which we had our objective function of maximization. Normally, transportation or assignment problems are of minimization type, but these problems could be sometimes maximization type also, but these maximization type problems are converted into minimization type by converting the profit elements into cost elements by multiplying each profit element with -1. So in the last class, the problem which we had discussed had unbalanced assignment problem also. But today in this class, we shall discuss one more unbalanced assignment problem. So let us continue our discussion on this. Any assignment problem is said to be unbalanced if the cost matrix or profit matrix, whatever it may be, is not a square matrix. What does it mean? That the number of rows and the number of columns are not equal. So, number of rows and number of columns are not equal. It means either the resources are less or the demand points are less. But you know that assignment problem has this specialty that demand points and supply points are always equal. So to make it equal, what we do, we simply balance the assignment problem by adding either a dummy row or a dummy column as the case may be, with all the entries being zero. Profit also zero, cost also zero. So if it is a profit matrix, then all profit elements will be zero. If it is a cost matrix, then all cost elements will be zero. So we add either a dummy row or a dummy column depending on which is less. Means either demand points are less or the supply points are less. Now let us explain this with this problem. The problem is that there are 4 jobs which are to be assigned to 5 machines. So there are only 4 jobs and number of machines are 5. Obviously, as per the characteristics of the assignment problem, only one job can be assigned to one machine. The amount of time in hours required for the jobs in a machine are given in this table, in this matrix. Capital A, B, capital B, capital C, capital D, capital E. These are the machines, and 1, 2, 3, 4 are the jobs. These are the 4 jobs, and these are the 4 machines. Any job could be performed on any machine, but one job could be performed only on one machine, and one machine can take up only one job at a time. So the time required to complete, say, job 1 on machine A is 4 hours, that on machine B is 3 hours, that on machine C is 6 hours, that on machine D is 2 hours, and that on machine E is 7 hours. Similarly, the time required to complete job 2 on different machines are 10, 12, 11, 14 and 16, and job 3 on machine A, B, C, D is given as 4, 3, 2, 1 and 5 hours. And job 4 on machine A, B, C, D, E are 8, 7, 6, 9, 6 hours. So the problem is to find out the optimum assignment schedule so that the total processing time is minimized. And we have also to find out to which machine which job is to be assigned and what is the total processing time to complete all the jobs. So before starting the solution, we have to see the cost coefficient matrix, which is obviously not a square matrix here because number of machines are 5 and number of jobs are 4. So the problem is unbalanced. So we add a dummy job 5 with the corresponding entry 0 here. See here, this 5th is the dummy job and time required to process it on any of these machines A, B, C, D, E is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So instead of writing number 5, you can also write it as a dummy machine. Okay. Now, once we have say added a dummy job 5 with cost element at 0, we proceed to solve the problem in the normal way. We deduct or subtract the smallest element of each row from each element of that row. So see here in this row, the list element is 2. 2 is the list cost. So 2 is subtracted from each element in that row. So this 4 becomes 2, 3 becomes 1, 6 becomes 4, 2 minus 2 is equal to 0, and 7 minus 2 is equal to 5. Similarly, here in this row, 11 is the list cost. So 11 is deducted from each row. So we get, 10 is the minimum value is 10. Minimum value is 10. So 10 is deducted from each element. So 10 minus 10 is equal to 0. 12 minus 10 is equal to 2. 11 minus 10 is equal to 1. 14 minus 10 is equal to 4. And 16 minus 10 is equal to 6. In this row, minimum element is 1. So we deduct 1, subtract 1 from each element. So 4 becomes 3. 3 becomes 2. 2 becomes 1. 1 becomes 0. And 5 minus 1 becomes 4. Now in this row, 6 is the minimum. There are 2 6s, but 6 is the minimum. So 6 is deducted. So we get 8 minus 6 2, 7 minus 6 1, 6 minus 6 0, 9 minus 6 3, and 6 minus 6 0. And here in this row, because 0 is the list cost, so 0 is deducted from all zeros, so it is all 0. So the first stage is to subtract the list cost from each row, from each element of that row. So we have done that. Second stage is that we have to deduct the minimum or list number, minimum cost from each column, from each element of that column. So see, this column has 0 as a minimum. So if we deduct 0, the value will remain the same. This row has also 0 elements, so we deduct say 0 from 1, 2, 3, 1 and 0, so it will remain the same. So likewise, all columns have 0 as one of the say cell entry. Therefore, if we deduct the minimum value from each element in that column, the value remains unchanged. So we get the same matrix, this one, as the reduced matrix. So this is the reduced matrix. Now I have explained to you that as per Hungarian algorithm, we have to draw the minimum number of lines to cover all the zeros. And if the number of lines is equal to the order of the matrix, the assignments could be made and the optimal solution has reached. Otherwise, some more steps are required to get a situation where minimum number of lines to cover all zeros has to be equal to the order of the matrix. In this case, you see, your order of matrix is 5 because there are 5 rows and 5 columns. It is square matrix law. Fifth is also considered as good as any other row. So we have covered all the zeros with, say, 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, and 4 lines. 4 lines. So with only 4 lines, it is possible to cover all the zeros. See, no zero is left here, which is not covered. So with only 4 lines, all zeros have been covered. As a matter of rule, to find out the minimum number of lines to cover all zeros is that you first delete the row or column which has maximum number of zeros, and subsequently you go on deleting the row or columns where there are minimum number of zeros, and if you proceed like this, you will get the minimum number of lines. So likewise, we have found that here only 4 lines are sufficient to cover all the zeros, and therefore this is not the final solution. We have to proceed to some other steps. So what is the next step? The number of lines to cover all zeros is only here 4, which is less than the order of the matrix. So we have to find out the second modified matrix, which can be formed by subtracting the smallest uncovered element from the remaining uncovered elements and adding that value at the intersection of the lines. So which are the uncovered elements? This, see, uncovered elements are 3, 2, 1 and 4 here, 5, 4, 1, 2. So this one is the uncovered, the list value, this one and this one also. So 1 is the list value which is not covered by these lines. Actually, we are in the process of creating more number of zeros. So this one is to be deducted. This is select the minimum value which is not covered by the lines. Minimum value is 1, so we have to deduct 1 from all the elements. So, and this one has to be added at the intersection of the horizontal and vertical lines. So which are the intersection points? You see, intersection points are 1, because this horizontal line, this vertical line. So 1, 2, and these are the 3 points which are the intersection points. So whatever is written here, so 1 will be added there and 1 will be deducted from all uncovered elements. Uncovered elements as 2, 1, 4, so 2, 1, 4 becomes 1, 0, and 3. And this remains as if 0 only, this remains 5 minus 1, 4, because uncovered element. So uncovered elements and also lines where there is no intersection, we do not change it. So this 6 remains 6, this 4 remains becomes 3, and this is also 0 will remain 0, 0 will remain 0. This 1 will be added at this intersection point, so this will become 1. This is also 3 becomes 4 because this becomes an intersection point. This remains 0 is equal to 0. Then this 4 is intersection point, this becomes 5, and this 0 remains 0. Similarly, this line here 0, 2, 1 will remain the same. 3 will become 2, 2 will become 1, 1 will become 0, and this 0 and 4 has already become 3. These two all points will remain unchanged. This 0 has already, I explained to you that this has been changed to 3 has become to 4 here. So now this is the next matrix, next revised matrix. Now you try drawing lines to cover all the zeros. Whatever way you draw the lines, our minimum number of lines to cover all zeros is equal to 5. So these are the 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lines, which are able to cover all the zeros. So number of minimum number of lines required to cover all zeros is equal to order of the matrix. So this is the optimal solution. Now we do this assignment. The assignment is the best when you do start with where you have minimum number of zeros in any row or column. So I find that second row corresponding to job 2 has only 1 0. Only 1 0 where? At this point, 2 corresponding to A. So we make first allocation here. So 2 is allocated to A. Similarly, then if we delete this row and this column, then we again check. We find that here, we find that next row or column where there is 1 0. So if there is no, then we such line, then we take with 2 zeros and we can make assignment anywhere you as you wish. So suppose 1 is allocated to B, then this row and this column, first row and column corresponding to say machine B is deleted. Similarly, if you proceed, you will find that job 1 is allocated to machine B, job 2 is allocated to machine A, job 3 is allocated to D, job 4 is allocated to C, and job 5 is allocated to E. And when you sum up the corresponding costs, the cost or man hours, then the optimum cost is 3 plus 10, 13 plus 1, 14 plus 6, 20. So fifth job is allocated to E. Fifth job is a dummy job, so there is no job actually. So no job is allocated on machine E. So this is the allocation, this is the minimum cost, and this is the optimum schedule. So now let us sum up our discussion by considering the difference between transportation problem and assignment problem. So in transportation problem, number of sources and number of destinations need not be equal. Generally, they are different. So the cost matrix will not necessarily be a square matrix. On the contrary, in the assignment problem, assignment is done on one-to-one basis because the number of sources and the number of destinations are equal. So hence the cost matrix will be essentially a square matrix. In transportation problem, if Xij is the quantity to be transported, from say ith origin to jth destination, it can take any positive value and it can satisfy the minimum requirements. But in assignment problem, xij means the jth job is assigned to the ith person, then it can take either the value 1 or 0. 1 if it is assigned, 0 if it is not assigned. The capacity and requirement value is equal to A, I and Bj for the ith source and jth destination in transportation problem. But in assignment, for each source and destination, the capacity and requirement value is exactly 1. We have seen that. This is why only one job can be assigned to one person and one person can do only one job. The problem is they are unbalanced if AI is sigma AI is not equal to sigma Bj in transportation. And here the problem is unbalanced in assignment problem. The problem is unbalanced only when the cost matrix is not a square matrix. So this is our end of discussion on assignment problem. Next class we are going to start a new chapter, scheduling by CPM and PERT. So today we are finishing our entire discussion on linear programming problem. So what we have studied in linear programming problem, let me briefly tell you. So it was first modeling of linear programming problem, mathematical modeling of linear programming problem, their graphical solution. Then we did simplex technique, both for minimization and maximization type, duality in simplex technique, dual simplex technique, transportation problem, and assignment problem. So now we shall have our last chapter, that is, you can see your syllabus. Last chapter is scheduling by CPM and PERT. So we shall start from the next class, scheduling by CPM and PERT. So let us end our discussion here. Okay. Thank you all.